Welcome to Homework Lib.
We're going to answer what is going to be the mass of oxygen that is going to be required to combust 96.1 grams of propane, which is going to have a formula C3H8. And we also want to know how many grams of CO2 are going to be produced. So the first thing that we need to do is to write down our chemical equation. C3H8 plus oxygen is going to produce CO2 plus water. First of all, to balance the waters, we're going to need a 4 in front of the H2O. And for balancing the carbons, we're going to require a 3. As we know, over here, we're going to have 6 plus 4. We're going to have a total of 10 oxygens. So the value over here is going to be 5 to have the completely balanced equation. So the first thing to get is the mass of oxygen. And this is going to be coming from the mass of propane that we're going to have. We need to transform this into mole of propane first, and for that we know that the molecular mass of C3H8 is going to be equal to 44.1 grams per mole. So 44.1 grams of C3H8 are going to be equal to 1 mole of C3H8. And now we're going to employ our chemical equation. We know that 1 mole of C3H8 is going to require 5 mole of oxygen. And the final step is going to be using the molar mass or the molecular weight for O2. And 1 mole of O2 is going to correspond to 32 grams. The result for the mass of O2, as you can see, the values that are going to cancel out are grams with grams, mole of C3H8, mole of C3H8, mole of oxygen with mole of oxygen, and we're going to end up with grams of oxygen. So this is 32 times 5 times 96.1 divided by 44.1, which gives us 348.66 grams of oxygen. Next up, we want to know what is going to be the mass of CO2 that is going to be produced. In this case, the mass of CO2 is going to be, we're going to begin with the same values. We're going to start with the mass of propane that we're going to have, the molecular mass of propane to transform this into moles. And now, employing our chemical equation, we know that 1 mole of C3H8 is going to produce 3 moles of CO2. Corresponds to 3 mole of CO2. And finally, for carbon dioxide, the molar mass is going to be equal to 44 grams per mole. So this is going to be our factor. 44 grams of CO2 corresponds to 1 mole of CO2. With this, the mass of CO2 that is going to be produced is going to be equal to 287.65 grams of CO2. And these are going to be our final answers.